Here we go. Hi, I'm Grant Connolly, and today we have a special guest. We have Monica Pelayo. And Monica, I invited Monica on because she has been a client of mine, and she does something called shadow work that I she and I did yesterday, and it was very powerful on me, effective. And I wanted to talk to Monica about this, and I wanted to share this with people who look at this particular video later. So, hi, Monica. How you doing?
Hi, Grant. Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Can you tell people where I'm speaking to you right now?
Well, right now I'm in my office in Madrid, Spain, and but you and me have worked through all over the world. But
Yes,
I'm
we have. Yeah.
from California, and we've been talking via Skype, and it's been an amazing journey with you. It's been
Well, I gotta say, that session I did with you yesterday was quite, it opened my eyes to things I wasn't really aware of before. So perhaps you can spend a minute saying what shadow work really is.
well. I think in kind of my way of explaining it. I mean, people have different ways of experiencing shadow work, but shadow work really, it's a part of us that is in a way denied or excluded or rejected or um, even disgusted by it, right? That's a part of us that we can't integrate yet, and it's become a shadow.
Mm.
And through the work that I do, we get to explore this part of us and see what it needs, see what, have it, uh, give it permission to be heard. And why do we do this? Usually when people come to me, they're having an issue in an area of their life, or they just want to upgrade themselves, or they want to break that glass ceiling, something that's really stopping them in their life or business. And what I focus on are aspects of themselves that need to be heard, that they haven't given them a space or a time to be heard. And this kind of work, not mostly, but a lot of people believe that it's just dark, because it's called shadow work, and it's scary, but it's, I think, totally the contrary. It's hard because you feel that you don't want to confront that part of you that you dislike, right? At the beginning. But when you stay there long enough, and in the safety of this work, and with the love that is created, for you, you're able to see what this part of you really looks like, and the gifts of this part of you, what it has to say to you. And it is really, really powerful, because you go from fear to love, really. You go from anger to love. You go from anxiety to peace with
Well,
this type of work.
give us an example.
Well, let's say somebody I have a lot of examples, because everybody has their own personal journey, and it's never the same. Everybody has these powerful breakthroughs, right? These powerful. I mean, I remember not a long time ago, I did this work with a therapist, and she does angel readings, and she can see angels, and she's a channeler and whatever. And she came to do this shadow work. She's really open to all this type of work, and I didn't really understand her work in the depth that she does that. But it kind of came together. It was so beautiful, because the part of her that came, her shadow, right? That part that really was moving her. She wasn't expecting, we're never expecting, whoever shows up, we're never expecting that. So this part of her that shows up, you know, she described it as like this kind of ugly looking man with horns. He goes, oh my God. And when I asked him his name, she said, it's Lucifer.
Oh,
you know,
goodness.
of course it's going to be Lucifer. You're like, so in the angel, you know, you're like the angel lady, right?
Yeah,
And of
yeah.
course and she's like, how can that possibly give me a gift, right? So we're in, and I said, don't worry about it. Let's get into the process. And we got into the process. And it was such a beautiful process, because when she started talking to him, see, if you think about it, when she told me the whole story after, we started talking about it, and she said, what are you here for? You know, what are you here to help me? She said that this part of her that she called Lucifer, you know, the name of it, she gave it a name, because she was just so not her, right? She's the opposite of her, you know, she's the angelic, you know, and she connects with the angels. And this part of her said, I'm here so you can see me and see the truth about me. And I want you to understand that you are teaching people of the goodness and of the love of God through the angels. And you still believe that there's a fallen angel. You still believe that God pushed me out of the, you know, out of heaven, and that kind of God exists. While you teach other people that we have an amazing, loving God. And so in your work, you're being a little bit shady by thinking that there's a devil that was pushed away and that was rejected, and that there's this bad angel, right? And so she kind of had the conversation with him, and I asked her, and I'm like, ask him, what does he want you to know? What is the gift? What is the truth? And this part of her answered, well, that I came back to the Father, right? I came back to God. And it was interesting, obviously, because, you know, I'm not religious. I don't practice I don't practice any religions, but I embrace all of them, most all of them, right?
Right, I understand that.
And she told me about the story and how it worked and whatever. So it was like beautiful how with her it worked that way, right? And then, you know, with somebody else that, you know, wasn't religious, didn't believe in God or whatever, I think hers was, it's not that she didn't believe in God. She's very spiritual, and she believes in other things and other spiritual things. And she was having a problem with money and her business, and it was blocked and all the stuff. And her shadow came up as kind of like the protective one, right? The one that she thought that this part of her, it was like fearful something. It was like filled with fear or something. And she hated that part, the one that didn't let her do anything. You know, it was fear that was coming up, and she couldn't do anything because she was fearful that something bad was going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So when she met this part of her, she asked, you know, what the process, it's a long process, but, you know, she went into it. And it was really interesting how this part said, no, I'm your fear when I'm your shadow, when you hate me, when you don't want to look at me. But I'm the one that protects you from making choices that you're going to regret, right? You know, so I want to make sure the coast is clear. I want to make sure that you are honest about what's happening. You're always about being positive and doing all those things, and then you stop doing things because you don't think that's positive. You don't think that that's good. But if you hear me out, we get to make choices from a place of love, not from a place of fear. But because you don't want to look at me and you hate me or whatever, you convert me into fear, right? So shadows are, for me, are amazing gifts we have that are converted into fear. There was a time where we judged it, You know, when women, and this happens to women a lot, you know, when they're younger, it's, you know, they hear a lot when, you know, people come and tell you, oh, you're so beautiful, and you're just such a pretty little girl, and you're so beautiful and such a pretty little girl, and and you feel good about this thing, right? And then, you know, because that's what they're teaching you, that you're a beautiful little girl. And then suddenly you say, like, yeah, I'm a beautiful little girl. And then somebody comes and is like, how about a little bit of humbleness, right? You know, how about a little bit of, you know, just not being so vain, and how about, you know, it's just, you're not that pretty, you know, and you get all this confusing messages.
I think you call them the haters, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not even those that hate. There's other real good haters right now, actually. But no, it's just kind of people kind of getting triggered with that because they themselves have that as a shadow, right? You know, embracing the beauty, because there's light shadows as well. There are aspects of ourselves that we can't integrate them because we don't feel we have them. You know, for some people it's easier to say, like, well, these are my flaws, to say, oh, I feel beautiful, because it's you just can't deal with that. Well, it's hard to accept because of their experience. So it's
about having and understanding that there are different parts or aspects of ourselves that speak at different times. Is that one way of looking at this?
Yeah, I think they speak when we need them.
When we need them.
When we need them. And if they're not heard and pushed away, it almost feels like they sabotage us. It almost feels like a sabotage, you know, like, what is going on? I'm doing all this great and I just can't move, let's say in my business, right? You know, I can't move as a therapist. I'm doing it all. I'm a great therapist. I've done my certifications. I've done, like, what is going on? Why am I not doing this? I know what I need to do. And sometimes I do it. Sometimes, why do I do this stuff? You know, what is this happening? And usually that's the shadow ready to be heard.
Yeah.
Kind of like point therapy, you know, when they come to you and things start coming up and you're like, what? Where did that come from? And you say, just put it in a circle. You know, it's ready to be cleared, right? You know, it's ready to be healed. And the shadow's constantly calling us to come back to listen to the gift. It's a shadow when you don't see it as a gift. The gift behind it. It's kind of the gift of beauty, right? But first, you have to deal with the story you made, or the judgment of being vain, not being humble, being this, narcissist, or whatever, right? So you have to see this in order to say, oh, this was something made up. The reality is that there is beauty within me. And it's going to take me some time to accept that.
Okay.
I really believe it.
Yes, that's true. That's right.
So, but first we need to look at this situation right now with the elections in the United States, right?
Yeah.
So we can see it. You know, a lot of people were having a hard time, including myself. You know, I was like, I was just crying. But a lot of people were like, oh, I don't want to feel that. I need to do something else. It's this. And then we start projecting all these feelings instead of, you know, I feel sad, and have this conversation of, you know, where is it? Why do I feel sad? Is it about the people? Is it about me? Is it about, so you have to see really the anger, the sadness, the fear, right? And then what I realized, it's coming up for clearance.
Yes.
Coming up for clearance.
Has to be seen first.
Right, because we've been a country, right, you know, more than half of the country, that we want to stay positive, we want to stay with love, we want to, and not talk about if there's racism in our country. No, well, not where I'm at, and there's this, oh, well, not there. Like, I want things to be pretty and beautiful, and but that has taken us to this place where somebody's showing us, no, there is some darkness, and there is some stuff we need to clean up, and there is.
That's why we have the shadow. That's why you do the shadow work, to bring it up so you can finally deal with it. Is that so?
And find the gold behind it.
And find the gold behind it.
Find the gold behind that.
Mm.
And I love how Z Point it has become kind of an extension, right? You know, it's embracing the shadow, seeing the gift, and C Point really clearing the remainings, clearing the physical part, right? Because we could understand something and we could process something and we could really have amazing breakthroughs.
Mm-hmm.
But then we'll have something happen to us and our body will react as it used to react before.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of, it has a remembrance to it, right? Even though you have to remind it like, oh no, we're not suffering about that anymore. Like we get that. But Z Point can just come and really, after doing the shadow work, is like really clearing, but not only from the past, from all times in life, right? Like it will like really clean up all the remains.
What's your experience with C Point personally?
Oh,
if you don't mind sharing.
No, I would love that. Well, I feel like, you know, when I came to you, I was never expecting I was going to get certified on Z Point, or I was even going to be interested in. I just was looking for something because I was going through this time in my life where I was losing so much weight, and I was really stressed out, and I just couldn't eat. There was something going on. I was like, you know, a lot of things were happening in my life, with my kind of dealing with kind of a divorce and my kids and a relationship. And it was just, everything came at the same time with my business. And usually when I get like that, I kind of take a time off a little bit. So I took some time off, and, but my body was really taking it hard. My body was really taking hard, and I couldn't eat. I could not eat. So I went to kinesiology. I did EFT. I did all the stuff, and I was doing everything. And I'm like, one has to work, right? One has to work. Yeah. And I have to figure out which one. And I couldn't get into the shadow thing because my body was just could not, it didn't have the strength in that moment to understand why my body was doing all this stuff, right? And a friend of mine, Melissa, she said, hey, there's this guy, you know, that does Z Point therapy. You know, I listened to one of his audios, and it really helped me through my breakup and something like that. She had a really bad breakup, and she just listened to it, and it really helped her out. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll take it. You know, I was just taking it. Anybody would have given me, I'd be like, yeah, sure, you know, eat this. Okay, you know. And I remember calling you, and I'm like, I feel all these feelings, and to be honest, I don't even think this is going to work, but I'm going to do it. And you said, yeah, don't worry about it. And you were so sweet. And there was this love and safety, you know, really working with you. And I started doing this. And so the first day, I remember I was so much more calm. My body stopped shaking the way it did. By the second time I did this, so that day I felt calm. So and then by the second time I did the session, I was thinking, I don't even think this is going to work because it's just too easy, right? And I was just yesing everything. I was like, yes. And I'm like, an hour of yes. I don't know. You know, it's just, but hey, whatever. Last time it made me feel calm. At least it just makes me calm for the moment. I remember hanging up the phone. And the day before, I had a conversation with my sister, and my sister said, listen, you've been vomiting a lot. You know, like I couldn't eat anything. Like I would eat it and vomit, water. Vomit. And I'm like such a eater. If people know, you know, people that know me can say, I cannot believe Monica stopped eating, right? Because I'm Mexican and I love food, right? And so I remember my sister said, if you can't eat, we're going to have to take you to the hospital because it's been more than a week. Yeah. You can't eat food in you. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, let me do Grant's, you know, yesing thing, and then I'll, if not, you know, tomorrow I will go. And I really didn't think it was going to work. I thought you were just going to calm me down, and it's just going to, I was going to be relaxed because it would make me sleepy. I thought the whole time, I'm not doing this right. I'm kind of taking naps with Grant, That's what I'm doing. I'm taking naps and yesing the whole thing. And I remember hanging up the phone, and I thought, I'm hungry, which is huge. One thing is not being able to eat and maybe eating and swallowing and not throwing it up. But another thing is I'm hungry. It was just this feeling that, oh my God, I was so excited about it. I go down and I started eating. And from there on, I started eating, things started shifting. I was able to really get into my work, right? My shadow work, and really embrace and make space for the pain, for the sadness, for everything. And I was able to really bring it up in our sessions. So when I saw that I was doing shadow work, and then I would come to you to do the clearings, I was really starting to get back on track and not get so caught up in like, why did this happen to me? I've been so wonderful. I've helped so many people. I've been in this industry, that stopped. And it's just all this new, like everything got cleaned up, and this new strength came over, and this new view of life came over. And that's when I thought, I need to get certified. And I really didn't want to get certified in anything else, because I think, and I have a lot of friends like that we're certified in we're certified in it, right? And I feel like that those people in New York they open up their jackets and they have these watches, and it's like, which one do you want? This one, this one, this one. That's how I felt, I'm like, I'm this kind of coach, and I'm a business coach, and I'm a women's leader, and I have all the certifications, right? And I'm like, I'm not going to do one. But this one, I could not do it. I could not do it. And right now that I'm using it with my clients, they've been so surprised in how in 1 hour, because we'll do a shadow session, which is 2 hours, but then I'll do a follow-up with Z-Point therapy, and they come in feeling a certain way, and they leave clean, ready for the next step, right? Ready for the next step. And I find that to be such a blessing. And if I can think about one thing, when we go through really tough times, you look back and you see all the benefits and what you've learned. Z-Point was one of the blessings that came from all of that. And it really completed the way I do my work with clients. And I think Z-Point could be such an addition to, coaches, that the business coaches and healers and all these people that are helping others. This is such a great tool to like get people to feel better in that moment,
and to integrate their experience. That's what I find.
Their experience, yes, absolutely. So with me, it's just, for me, it was just the final tool. I mean, I shouldn't say final, but it's like what made it complete. And I loved it. I'm so grateful for this tool, and I love to. I mean, my clients, they see me and I talk about it all the time. So when you said, I want to talk to you about it, I'm like, I would love to talk about it, because I am so amazed at how this works.
Well, it's very simple, but I love doing it, because every time I work with someone, there's something in them that I resonate with, whether about their story or about their circumstance or whatever, I can understand and resonate with that. And when we work together, I'm repeating my cue word along with them. So it helps me as much as it helps them. And I love that. And if you're a therapist or a coach or whatever, and you want to feel better yourself while you're helping the people you work with, you should try this, really. Right.
And I think that because the people that I work with are women entrepreneurs, and they do such a beautiful job. And sometimes they're giving so much, and they kind of forget to really take care of themselves. And I think Z-Point is really taking care of themselves as they do the therapy,
Yeah.
the session. And I think it's just it's such a blessing of therapy, and more because it's so simple and it feels like, I don't think this is going to work, but
Yeah.
for some reason
It works.
you just start feeling better, like
Yeah.
physically better.
I'm sure that one day it'll all be explained to us why this works, but I have a few ideas about it. But
Yeah.
it was a gift to me. I can't explain. I sat down and it just came to me, the idea and the concepts, and I just wrote it down and I started using it, and it works. It's just
It does.
simple and it works. So I love it.
And I think the more we do it, I don't know if you experience this, but the more you do it, the more you get it.
Yeah.
At a level that you don't know how you get it, but you get it at a level, at a maybe conscious or unconscious level. There's a part of you that really resonates with that truth, right? And I feel that sometimes when we analyze things or we're thinking about certain problems, we interfere a lot. And with Z, when you get the subconscious, you just yes it, and it's like, and it's such a humble place to be, to say, yeah, whatever that needs to be brought to the situation, I'm yesing it.
Yes.
Because you go into with the intention of, I want this to be clear, and I'm not going to interfere with that.
That's right.
Right? And in normal therapy, you have this conversation.
Okay. We're having a bit of a...
It could be this, it could be that. And in Z point, it's yes is whatever that is.
Okay, we're having a bit of a difficulty with the internet. Just give it a second, it'll clear up. Okay, you there now?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have something going on in the background in your computer?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
No. See, there's noise because there's my heater, but I'll turn it off. All right, so, but I think we're back.
Yeah, we're back. I love your background. That's gorgeous. The purple.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
It's Tuscany. It's Italy.
Tuscany.
It's the Tuscany. Yeah, the Tuscan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything you'd like to add to this, our talk today?
Well, because we are talking about Z-point therapy, and because you're starting this soon that we've talked about, I don't know if we can talk about it, but
yeah, we can talk about it now.
The Institute for Z-point and these certifications that you're going to start
in the new year,
moving forward. I honestly feel that this is such a beautiful tool that could be added to whatever people already have, their own gifts, right?
Yes.
And this is such a simple tool, and it's so rich, but it really, you can really feel it in the moment, in your body, and in your experience. And I tell people, there's those days that you're just like, oh my God, can this go away, right? This feeling, or like, oh, I just wish it didn't feel that way. Well, Z-point, it's not that it's going to come and, oh, don't feel it and take it away. It's Z-point, what it does, it holds it for you, and it cleanses it for you. And it shows the truth of it, and then you get to come back and go, oh, okay, it was just dirty. Like, it's dirty thoughts.
Dirty thoughts. Well, yes, essentially that's what it is. Because it always comes to the truth. There's a truth about everything, and I suppose on some level. And what this does is it reveals the truth that it's maybe particular to you. There may be the circumstance you're going through or whatever, but it shows you what's true in that for you. You can accept it or not. That's up to you. And if you choose not to, then maybe some more Z-point is in order. I don't know. But it's about coming to a place of peace, centeredness, and balance, about an issue, a thought, a relationship. And once
Or
you,
a symptom.
or pardon me,
Or a symptom.
a symptom.
A symptom.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, and which is so important. You know, I always wanted to find a way of how to, sometimes when people come with me and they have a lot of anxiety, how can I help them?
Yeah.
Right? Because if they could hear everything and they can understand everything, but that doesn't take away their anxiety. It doesn't take away their heart beating that quick.
No.
Right? So this is such a good, tool for that.
Well, I want to thank you for being here. And I have an email address for people to reach you. It's info@monicapelayo.com. Info@Monica, MONICA, Pelayo, PELAYO.com.
Yeah, or they can check out my website at MonicaPelayo.com. And also, if you, of course, if you're interested and want to know more about the certification on Z Point, they go to acceptance, right? To
acceptingself.com.
Acceptingself.com.
I'm still in the middle, in process of putting all that and making that all available.
Yeah, but I still recommend that you look into the work, read about it and explore it a little bit and, experiencing yourself, really seeing it for yourself, because there's nothing better than that. Right?
And I have years of recordings that I've created that maybe you can speak about those recordings today. Have you listened to those?
Yeah. I've been listening. I listened to a lot of them through the certification that I went through with you, and just the recordings, really, and the way you helped other people, that you get to listen to it, you get to clear up all these things. So there is a lot of information, and that's why it's going to take for it to come to next year, because you're going to put it all into modules, and also because there's a lot of information, even though it's such simple work, there is such richness to it. And that's what I got through listening to the videos and going through the certification and all that stuff. There's so much richness in that, and also doing it with other people, practicing it. That's such a beautiful experience to go through.
I agree. Yeah. So thank you, Monica, and we'll do this again sometime. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I'd be happy to.
Okay.
Thank you.